Oh, welcome into Sober in the States Scouting Synopsis. I've been waiting so long to say it, Alex. MLS is officially back. We are here. None of that Leagues Cup nonsense. We are back in Challenger. MLS is back. Let's go! Yeah! MLS is back, baby. We are here. We're going to look at the weekend like always. We're going to look at all these matchups. We're going to see all the shenanigans that are happening. Leagues Cup final is on Sunday. Open Cup is next Wednesday. So even though MLS is kind of back, we're not really back because there's still going to be some shenanigans because some of these teams need to win a trophy, aka SKC. I'm looking at you.
Hey, 1 win away from the Champions Cup. Ooh, looking good. Got another trophy on the line if we beat Indy 11.
I'm not going to lie. If Indy 11 wins and LAFC win the Leagues Cup, there is a good chance the Indy 11, a USL team, will be in CONCACAF Champions Cup, which I'm not going to lie. I kind of want to see.
That'd be insane. Yeah, that'd be insane. I'd rather have Sporting, though. You know.
At your expense, it would be really cool to see Indy 11 make it into CONCACAF, but we'll see. There's all that stuff. Shout out to Cameron, who was first in the chat. What's up? I did see you in another chat the other day. The LAFC boys got you in for a good score. Congratulations. Red or Dead. Hello, lads. Hello. Daniel Brubaker in the chat as always. There you go. Look at that. He's been happy because FC Dallas hasn't lost in 3 weeks. I wonder why. Mike Baston, MLS. It's this thing. It is the greatest league on the face of the earth, and people are just going to have to accept that one day. I don't know how they haven't. And Ahmed in here as well. Good night. Yo, I just hope everybody's excited as we are for MLS. Yeah. What are you most excited about this weekend? There's a lot going on, but for you, what are you looking forward to?
I don't want to say what I'm most excited for because it's a vibe killer, but I'm most excited for La Liga. My lineups won't get killed this week. I know it's not MLS. Obviously, MLS coming back is cool, but like I have a few guys with double game weeks. There's 2 teams that play twice, which is weird. They play Friday and then Monday.
Already interesting.
But yeah, and then again, just like I think the happiest thing was just like going into Sorare and being able to build like 20 lineups finally instead of having to throw out like 3 is probably the best part. And yeah, having that all back in swing with Europe is going to be very interesting. We know PSV has like a 91% chance to win. But yeah. Oh yeah, right. I forgot. I was going to ask you what happened with the LAFC guys because you said you had Silva, and I was looking up top on the leaderboard. I was like, he's got to be up here somewhere if he had Silva and then LAFC. But yeah, that's
it happens. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. It really does. And yes, Carlos Hill, he may be back. There's a lot of things to get into. A lot of people coming back. A lot of people got rested. These teams are looking different. And hey, there are about 8-10 games depending on who you are in the MLS left in the regular season. Everybody makes the playoffs, but still. There are a lot of teams that are made some moves, big moves. They're going to try to push their way up the standings, try to sneak their way into the playoffs. So,
hey, we made a big move. You saw. We didn't even bring anybody in. We just sold someone. That's it.
All right. Apparently, you're not allowed to talk about anything else for the rest of this episode because we're going to have to kick you out. Oh, there you go. Look at it. See yourself out. There you go. Man of the people, Alex himself. I got to bring him back. I was getting scared by myself. And yeah, shout out to the Sorare Andrews today. I haven't finished it yet. I'm about an hour in. And apparently there's a guest. I haven't gotten that far, so don't spoil it for me. But always go check out Sorare Andrews, the best Sorare Andrews show. Best Sorare Data show. Good times. But yes, MLS is back, baby. We're going to get into it. Do we want to get straight into the weekend? Do we want to talk about Leagues Cup final real quick? Do we just want to knock that out of the way real quick? Or where are you going to go? Where are we taking
Let's tackle Leagues Cup final real quick, and then let's talk about strategy. What are you doing for the weekend? Because there's if you're like me, I'm sure there's other people. I know Pranksy obviously was like, oh, I can't play my $200,000 worth of cards in the same lineup. I'm mad. But that's an incredible problem to have. I wish I was like him. But
right.
But
imagine being Pranksy with a full Columbus unique stack and a full LAFC Columbus unique stack.
Yeah. But I do have full limited stacks of both those teams, and it's weird. So I have to. You can pull up the competition. I'll show what I did, and I think that I like there's some. I prioed the second team over the first, which is weird, and I went Rossi over Cucho. It's a little bit interesting, but Rossi's been incredible recently.
That is true.
And his AA has been stacking up too. So it ain't broke, don't fix it. Wagner's got the third place game. He doesn't get rotated. Paradell is back. That was just sort of a midfielder because I had his limited in contender. Throw him in here. And then Kalina at home. Love it. And then Cucho sort of got thrown in with some extra guys. I didn't really pry out anti-stacks. I sort of threw them in with I threw those, the three guys on the right side from the Leagues Cup and just sort of threw in whoever I had left. But yeah, I mean, do you have guys that are going to be playing? I know you have Schulte and
and for those who don't know, if anything, you're just tuning in or whatever, you're not as locked into the MLS. Is that basically because of the Leagues Cup shenanigans that have been this whole thing because of new Sorare? Not saying new Sorare is bad, but the way new Sorare is going for us right now, okay, there's just weird midweeks, and there's Columbus, LAFC, two of the best teams in MLS, mind you. So a lot of people are going to have these cards, but because they're in the Leagues Cup finable, they're not eligible for Challenger. So you got to play them in this midweek special, which just happens to be anti-stacks. So you have two MLS teams and the third place game. There's Philly and Colorado too. Okay, they're playing for something. All right, you got 4 teams to choose from in a competition where you can't play stacks. So the math just ain't mathing because you need 5 guys. And guess what? You can't use any of your MLS gallery because, hey, well, actually, I guess you could. That's not the point.
I said it.
Stacks.
I said it last time. Like, we don't have to go full blown back to old, but just have like one competition where you can throw in anybody.
Right. It's the restrictions that
exactly. And we talked about cap modes where you would get essence if you hit thresholds, and I think that's a really good idea. I'm sure they went over it though. They probably went over every idea and was like, "What can we do?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I think something like that. I think especially for midweeks because very rarely will you have a full stack play midweek. MLS is one of those few teams or one of those few leagues that does play a lot of midweeks. That league,
there's a lot.
Premier League has like a handful. Yeah, man, Open Cup Div, please let me play my guys against Indy 11. Someone would DNP and I'd get mad, but it's fine.
And it's not even like to bash these special weeklies, right? Because like they're fun, they are fun, they're exciting, they're different. It's something unique and new. But like you should play them if you want to. It should be an option to play them. Like if you want to go play that, or you want to play Cap 200 or the Fighting Special, whatever. Like if that's fun for you, go play it. But being forced to play the cards and like it's just annoying. Okay, it's a thorn in my side. Okay, it's that stupid freaking just a thorn in my side. But it is what it is. Yeah, I don't think I'm prioritizing anti-stack. Obviously, I'm going to have players in there. I'm going to have Columbus and LAFC players that have to go in there, and they're going to go in there with my MLS throwaways because Challenger is back. And you know what? I kind of missed winning cash and in-season. As weird as that sounds, because I didn't really prioritize it. But at this point, I have a decent amount of in-season cards, and that cash
I didn't either. Yeah, this was like the first time in a while where I purposely set aside my new season guys to throw into in-season lineups because I just like winning cards because it's more fun. But then again, I'm like, I could win like $5 instead of like a tier 5. Maybe I just do that. And so, yeah, it's probably way too late to the party, but it's fine. You know what? We're having fun. We're here to win.
It's over. It's over anyway. All right. We don't have to worry about this for a whole another year. So
now,
and then guess what? We still won't get a special.
Who do you think's going to win the Leagues Cup final? What's your prediction? Because it's an MLS Cup rematch, and I believe it's in Columbus too. So it's a full-blown rematch of everything.
Is it in Columbus?
I think so. It said home on Sorare data. You know, it can be weird though with Leagues Cup. Like
so here's the thing. And in all my brackets, I had Columbus winning the whole thing. And I love Columbus, and Columbus looks great, and Columbus is still playing that dynamic, non-safe football. It's still beautiful to watch. But watching them compared to LAFC right now, LAFC is hitting on another level that, like, it's going to be a game. And then you had Columbus who just beat the crap out of LAFC. And then like 2 weeks later, LAFC turned around and did the exact same thing to Columbus. So it's like, this is just whoever shows up on the day. And hopefully they don't have tummy issues because that would suck. And I'm almost leaning LAFC for this final when I had Columbus pretty locked in there. But I think I'm starting to flip. I don't know about you, but I think I'm flipping.
I'm going LAFC just in the fact that Columbus looked like they've struggled at points, and I don't think I've seen one point at all where LAFC looks like they've struggled.
I think that's the biggest thing.
And the fact that one would assume Giroud starts this game, and he looked really good yesterday. He finally got a full half. It's going to be very difficult. Hollingshead picking up form. I would assume he starts, but
yeah. Speaking of that, Hollingshead in big games.
Yes. So yeah, maybe play your Hollingshead in like mid prio because again he should start, but we've said that before with him and he hasn't. But yeah, I know you saw it. You see Will Ferrell with the Hollingshead jersey on in the crowd. That was pretty sick. So he's bought in. Maybe he lets him know, hey, start him every game, please.
Yeah.
No rotation.
Beautiful goal in the quarters and then 2 assists last night, I think. So yeah,
Yep.
Hollingshead is finding that form. He had Giroud 15 AA in like 45 minutes. Like that's the stuff we love to see.
But I'm still mad that Palencia won that pen and they took it back on VAR because that would have been Giroud's first goal and a Palencia pen one. But you know what? It's fine.
And MX thinks LAFC will win too. Have fun at soccer practice, bud. But yeah, it'll be a fun final either way. There's a lot of MLS, but on Sunday, definitely tune in to that Leagues Cup final, Columbus versus LAFC. It should be a banger, man. It should be some fireworks on the field, off the field. It'll be a great time. And if LAFC wins,
it'll be interesting to see who Columbus starts too because they've been changing up lineups a lot. And I know Chambos has been on the bench 2 times in a row. I don't know if they're going to start him or not.
No way.
He looked bad in that. He did look pretty bad in that start, though.
It's not that they looked bad, but it wasn't the Columbus that's been playing for I don't know how many weeks now. It's going to take time to get the new guys to gel in, but it's going to be great.
Yeah.
But before we get into the weekend real quick, I didn't want to bring it up. I'm going to little flex a little bit. I am 13th in the Leagues Cup bracket challenge. So
there you go.
I am in the money right now for the Leagues Cup bracket. 13th, I get
what tier?
$100. $100. I get $100 right now. So, and I think I have Columbus. I think I have Columbus winning.
So basically, you need Columbus to win.
I think so. Yeah. So I technically need Columbus to win to keep it going. I had LAFC losing. LOL.
What am I? How are my things looking? Where can I look this up?
I don't know.
Brackets.
Look at me go winning money in the stupid fake preseason tournament.
Yeah, you're gonna win more money on the bracket challenge than Sorare this year. It's always how it is.
If that explains how Leagues Cup has gone on Sorare at all, it's like I'm winning more on the Coors Light bracket challenge than I could on Sorare.
Champion beer. Shout out Fripp.
Hey, yeah. Shout out to Fripp though. Shout out to Fripp. But yeah, let's get into these games. Let's get into these weekends. Okay, Alex is busy, so there's no picks today.
I can. You know what? Whenever we go past a player that I like, I'll let you know. So
yeah. Well, we'll talk about it because we're basically starting fresh again because, like I said, there's only a few games left. These teams, who knows what they did in the last 3 weeks? They were training, they were scheming, they were maybe switching things up, integrating new players, getting players back. So it'll be interesting what we see from these teams going forward as they make their final push into the playoffs. So yeah, we'll see. And the first game that I have, and actually this is the first one that's going to be a headache because the Seattle Sounders have a game in the midweek. Yes, they do. They have a game in the midweek.
They do?
And yes.
That's the midweek?
No. Where is it? I had it somewhere.
Saturday. What?
No, play.
It's a different game then, yeah. Because I was about to say Minnesota's on Saturday. Then it's different.
This is Seattle that they moved the schedule for?
I think they may have moved the schedule because no, they play Open Cup.
Yeah. No, so Seattle LAFC got moved because it was supposed to be on Saturday, but because LAFC made it to the final, they moved the game to Wednesday. So LAFC is going to have to play Sunday to Wednesday. Seattle has a little bit of a rest after getting knocked out after Leagues Cup.
But there's that midweek game right there, though. That Philly Columbus.
So
that's gonna be spicy.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot.
So much rotation we're not ready for in that one.
Yeah. So just when you think we're in the clear, there's going to be some nonsense because Seattle they want to win this thing. They want to win a trophy. Yes, win Coors Light Cap 250. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Anyway, so what do you think we're going to get in the Seattle game? Is Fry back? Are they going to rotate again and then save him for the Open Cup?
What are we doing here? One would assume he's back, right? It seemed like Thomas there. It's not like Fry played bad to lose his spot. They sort of just put Thomas in, and they're like, "Oh, Thomas is playing good. Let's keep him in." So one would assume Fry. Fry stays in. I don't know why he's a D pick score. Minnesota at home is a really good matchup for him. And Leagues Cup Bongi is over. Rest in peace. But yeah, it should be Seattle winning at home. They've done it in the past.
This is in Minnesota.
Oh, it isn't. Oh,
Yes.
which one am I thinking of? Is the Open Cup in Seattle? One of those two games are
Yes.
pretty
Yeah.
good. That's what it is. Yeah.
At Starfire Sports Complex.
That's right. Seattle, the Sounders too. Yep. So yeah. That'll that changes things, but it still makes me think that Seattle are going to win. Do I think Fry's going to keep a clean sheet? No. I think it'll be like 2-3-1 Seattle.
Yeah.
Rusnak's been on fire. He picked up form, slight decrease. Now he's back up to what he was. Pen neck is a thing, and yeah, this should be an exciting one. Minnesota at home is always usually pretty like fiery game. Recently, especially like they just like to get red cards.
Well, and Minnesota brought in a lot of pieces this window too. Like they made a few trades. They made a few like league trades. They brought some people in. They brought in a new striker, some new wingers. So this team alone, just Minnesota United, is going to be really interesting to watch. And yeah, Seattle, like I'm saying, that's the thing. Like I know they had like a week or two rest, but they have an Open Cup semifinal in the midweek. Like they have a chance of winning a trophy. Like within 2 games, like who's to say they don't throw out some concoction, or maybe they perform it? I don't know. I'm worried about my Seattle guys. Is all I'm saying, because if I was the coach, I'd be prioritizing Open Cup right now.
Yeah, I would too, but I think you're safe with. I would say the safe starters are Rusnak, Joao Paulo. I don't even know at this point if he's safe. And then the 2 center backs in Fry and the back line. Maybe Nuhu gets rotated, but the midfield, Rothrock has been good, and they might save him for Open Cup. So, yeah, there's definitely some rotation in those guys that haven't been rotated at all this season. So that's sort of the key to go by at this point in the season is if they have been rotated less than twice this year, you're probably good. Because at this point in the season, every team's trying to achieve higher and higher. No one's okay with where they're at because the top teams are going for supporter shield and home advantage for the playoffs, and the lower teams are fighting to stay in the playoffs. So everybody's going to be putting out their best teams, one would assume, to try to win.
Yeah, just a little wrinkle to keep in mind in the back of your head when you're playing your Seattle guys. I know a lot of people have Seattle stacks, me included, but funny to think about. And Cameron was asking, Open Cup is not covered.
I wish it was.
But it is something to think about when it comes to the rotations in the midweek. Same thing with like if you were in Champions League, sometimes you're just going to rotate the weekend to focus on Champions League and the further tournaments. And these are the semifinals. And Mike's asking, if you win the Open Cup, you do get a Champions League spot. So
not just win.
2, right? The runner-up and the winner, I think.
Yes, but with the Leagues Cup, both finalists make it. And so LAFC has qualified, which means whoever wins out of Sporting and Indy goes through to the Champions Cup. So it's not, come on, boys, let's get it done. Let's get us another tournament
in the Champions Cup just to have midweek utility to get knocked out in the first round.
Sporting KC at Tigres.
Would you go to Mexico for that?
I go to Kansas City for that.
Hey, I guess it is 2 legs. Hey.
All right, I just yell at Gignac for his jersey. That's what I do.
Please, Gignac, please. As you're wearing an SKC jersey, please.
It's your last season, please.
Yes. Congrats, Indy 11. It would be so cool for Indy 11 to go through. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Melia retiring, Pulse Camp versus Tigres. What could go wrong?
Yeah. Melia retiring. Not. We don't know. I still don't know. I've like for the news and stuff, like we haven't publicly like announced we've negotiated with any of our like 15 guys that are expiring at the end of this year. But I will say the one guy not to worry about, Caden Pierre, no need. Another Sporting KC defender that is gone. Last one that I remember that was young that went to Europe was Eric Palmer Brown, who ended up at Man City somehow, even though he wasn't even a starter here. And Caden Pierre isn't even a starter here, so maybe he'll be at Chelsea soon.
Get that Caleb Wiley money, baby.
That's what I said. Yep, $8.5 million or nothing.
But being that we're kind of talking about SKC, here's another thing. Let's find out from the SKC man himself. Will you guys be rotating this weekend?
Yeah.
As you guys have an important Open Cup final, and you have a massive club coming to knock on your door, Orlando City, on the way to Sporting Kansas City. Unfortunately, they did not let me on the plane. They canceled my ticket, so I will not be making the trip with the team to Sporting Kansas City for this. So I decided to go to Atlanta instead. But anyway, you guys are going to get your butts kicked, right?
I heard Orlando's staying at the American Hotel or Motel, 30 minutes down the road, so sleep might not be that great. So, you know,
Fireworks outside the hotel at 1 a.m. Let's go.
I mean, I've liked our form when we're at home. Like, we don't really look that bad at home compared to away. Like, away, we're atrocious. Columbus, you guys watch that game. That was bad. But at home, we've had like a somewhat decent record, 4-3 against Real Salt Lake. Even though it was an ugly game, it was still not, it wasn't horrible. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Polito just got his own documentary episode on like Fox Telemundo. Fox Deportes.
Did you really?
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, for someone that doesn't even start on the team, one would assume that I would think Polito starts and we save Agata for Open Cup, but we're probably going to see Agata at some point. So I'm just going to play Agata because he could still come off the bench and do something.
Hey, 35 points now.
Yeah, 35 points. So that's a lot big of a difference because Polito's not going to go the full 90. But we'll say Radoya, don't look at that. He's out for a while. So yeah, it's going to most likely be Davis and Voltaire. And then I can see us playing our young guys, but then again, it's so hard to predict. Only guys that I would stay with. We might see Poolskamp this game too, just because on the fact that in the Open Cup, penalties are an option, and having Melia in there just for the fact that we could go to pens is very beneficial that gives us a big boost. It's weird saying, but like just playing a different keeper gives us a big boost. And so I don't see a world where we start Poolskamp at the Open Cup and sub him off for penalties.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say it's 50-50, but I would lean Poolskamp like 51-49. But I would stay away from that for starting any keepers. I wouldn't try to do anything with that. Everything else, we got a new center back who can also play CDM.
Interesting.
So he might make a substitute appearance. Yeah, that everything else seems good to me on here. Not Brazero at left back. Maybe it'll be Leibold or it'll be Ndembe, and I assume Ndembe will be starting after Open Cup. I assume he'll start Open Cup. I think Leibold will start this game. Yeah. He needs to start soon. I don't think we're going to play him in a game that doesn't matter because he's good. So we're not gonna waste him on this sort of game. And then Shelton should be at right back. If Pierre didn't train today too, so that's sort of a tell. They asked for Mies, what's the deal, and he said, can't speak on it yet. We know what that means. But yeah, and then Javik said in the chat, Tommy, yeah, he should be good. It doesn't have him in here, which is weird because nothing happened. But yeah, he should start if he gets rotated. I didn't say anything, but he is good at he was one of those guys for a while where he just didn't get rotated. It was like him, Melia.
Didn't you tell me he was the next João Paulo?
He's an attacking mid. João Paulo's not an attacking mid. Jake Davis is the next João Paulo.
Jake Davis is awesome.
But yeah, and then Shallowy wouldn't get rotated. Those are like the three guys that didn't really get rotated recently. But yeah, and then Mike, 51-40. It's just stay away from our keepers. Even just don't even play them unless you have training lineups.
There's no cap 220. There's no point to play Tim Mealy anymore.
Exactly. Tim Mealy, what happened to the Tim Mealy's of our world? The worst starting keeper on Sorare, if you look it up.
Didn't you just say you just picked up a rare for like $7?
Yeah, collection bonus.
Oh man, that is the fall from grace, Team.
I waited. Kansas keepers suck. We're about to go to the Champions Cup.
That's true, man. They're like real close to winning a trophy and getting a Champions Cup. So
we're not going to win the Open Cup. I can tell you. 3 going to LA.
Yeah, good luck with that.
With Giroud.
Hey, Scammy, yes, Euro-friendly timings. Hey, we try when we can. We try to go early. We try. We think about you guys. We really do. Yeah, and as far as this Orlando lineup, this is pretty chalk. I know Rafael Santos and Kyle Smith have been like kind of flip-flopping. Now Luca Petrasso's in the mix, but like I don't really see him winning that position in. Just because Santos offers way more on the attack. But yeah, I assume it's Enrique until his form starts to drop, and then they swap him out for Duncan again now that he's here for a little bit longer.
It's so weird that you guys have Duncan, Muriel, and then Enrique is the one starting, and he's just on the bench.
RDP, 3-year contract. Muriel is third string. as our number 9. I love it when
until
DPs
you sell
rot and
Enrique
waste.
for a little cash to where did Duncan want to go?
Oh, Blackburn.
Yeah, then Enrique goes to Blackburn.
I don't
Tears it
know.
up.
Personally, I think the Duncan McGuire signing was like, hey, let's lock him in so we don't let him go for free like idiots, because
Yeah.
Orlando City has a really bad habit of doing that.
Mhm.
And then just like, hey, let's run you out. Let's get you to a place you really want to go to. But, we'll take care of you until that. So,
Yeah.
But then again, there's Muriel rotting on the bench, which just, I hope you buy him out.
Yeah. We don't want to lock down anybody. We don't want anybody to have contracts at our club.
Yeah.
We don't like contracts.
Hey.
We like signing people for free when they get released by the club because they're not good enough.
Well, you know who doesn't like contracts? Because you know what? If they don't like your contract anymore, they just cancel it. The Chicago Fire, Shaqiri, they said, you know what? Just don't even come back. We're cutting your contract. We're buying you out. We'll pay whatever fee it is to get you not to play for us ever again. That's how bad it got. The Chicago Fire literally paid for Shaqiri not to play for them.
Hey, and
I love
he
it.
signed with Basel in like a day. Like it was so quick. He was already in that jersey with the official. Like,
yeah.
Surely they took those photos before the Euros. They're like, yeah, just come over here. Just stay over here.
Yeah.
Like
The Shaqiri era is over.
Mm-hmm.
Awful. I feel bad for the Chicago Fire, but hey, they have promising people in there like Gutierrez. So, hey, you know what it is. But hey, let's talk about the other team who had a nice little Leagues Cup run, NYCFC. They are getting hot when it matters. Maxi Morales is 37 years old, blew out his knee, doesn't care. He is playing like he is 23 because Maxi Morales in the 10 right here not only has like opened everything up for Santi, but like this team right now, they're starting to figure it out. McFarland, the 17-year-old who is talked about going to Man City, is also playing well for this team. NYCFC is starting to cook.
He's like actually going to start too, Maxi. Like he's actually a starter in their team.
Yes.
Now, like he's been really good, and for Sorare too, like genuinely been a really good option. So I don't know how. I mean, how much is he?
$2 for like a rare, a $2 classic.
They only got like you only got like a dozen games of utility, but like for $3, look at his scores. I mean, it kind of shows you 56 average since coming back.
He's not playing forever. And we talked about this when he first came back. You're like, hey, do we need to start looking at Maxi? And everybody's like, nah. But I don't know, man.
Well, he was rotational when he first came back. Yeah. Now, even if he is rotational, you get that 35 to start. Man. You get that 35 to start with Maxi now, and he gets AA off the bench. So it and a decisive in there. They play long enough to where he gets in there long enough to give himself a decisive chance. And I don't know how many he has off the bench, but I can tell you we can check that he's genuinely an option.
None off the bench.
Yeah, scroll down. I remember.
When he first came back, yeah.
So he's a monster now.
Anyway, he's involved. Like he's involved in a lot of tag. He's the reason why a lot of these runs are getting opened up. Why Santi has so much more space to be creative too. Like it's like, well, you can't leave Maxi alone. You really got to focus on him. It's like, and Santi just runs around cooking everybody else in the process.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know if I run a full NYCFC stack or not. What do you think? Because
no, not really. I mean, Freeze Matthews also. I guess Tavon Gray maybe, but I'm using Tavon Gray in U23 to be honest. Like I'm actually smashing in Challenger. Like,
I think I'm going to use Tolkien in U23.
That's another good one too.
And stick Tavon with Fry and Challenger. I think that makes sense.
Interesting, but I'm still like Keaton Parks. Sands has like fallen off a little bit. He's not really scoring the way he was. Santi's still like the only chalk, and obviously Freeze Matthew because he's been really good too.
Yes, and Thiago Martins. Don't forget.
Yeah, Thiago Martins too.
Also, Sands quietly again. I said it like a few weeks ago. His AA is actually like pretty solid, and he mixed in a decisive once and got 100. So
yeah, when they had that nice little run in the middle of the season, like he was scoring okay. And he's still a decent floor.
Yeah. Problem is CDM doesn't get. They have too many attacking pieces already. But I mean, if you're NYCFC stack, it was Sands in the midfield and then Santi there too.
I'll say it's definitely not Keaton Parks though. We'll just say that it's definitely not Keaton Parks.
No.
And Tavon Gray is kind of a risk, Mike. They did come out. I saw a tweet that said he's fine. He's okay to play.
Yeah.
But whether or not they kind of are cautious with him or not is a different story.
He trained fully. I believe.
But he isn't training. It's not like a long-term thing, but whether they decide to save him or not is another question. But So there is a risk, but he is healthy and available to play as far as we know. And then, yeah, Chicago, like if you want to get a Brian Gutierrez, because he's still fine. He still scores fine. That's a definitely young kid, U23 speculation of sort if you want to play him. But yeah, he's the one making it happen. There is that Kuipers guy on this team too that does know how to find the back of the nets.
Oh, the goat.
Yeah. So anyway, that there's no reason to talk more about Chicago. And yeah, NYCFC, they are getting hot at the right time. Yeah, let's talk about this real quick since LAFC is playing in the final. We need a bogus replacement when he leaves. Looking at Evander and Lucho, but I don't know their situation. Are they set to stay? Lucho is definitely here long term.
Lucho's not. Yeah, Lucho's not leaving.
Yeah, Lucho just signed a big old contract. Looks like he's here to stay. He had his run in Europe, and he came back, looking like he's an MLSer at this point. Evander, there was Brazil rumors, wasn't he, that he was like kind of
recently too. Transfer window's over, but
yeah,
he's good and he's young. Lucho's not as young. Lucho's out of those two. I feel like Lucho. Also, you could say Puig in that mix too.
Ricky Puig. Yeah.
I still think Puig is the best MLS scorer. It's not saying much because when you look at all the graphics, he's always at the top. But I think he will be in forever because even though he doesn't mix in decisives as often as the others, he's getting 25 AA games. So it would be Lucho and Puig would be the two replacements, I would think.
Facts. Another good question too is that Royce is available for selection this Saturday. Did he get his visa? I don't know if he's on the team. I don't know if he's technically available yet. It just kind of depends on the timeline of that paperwork and stuff. So I really wouldn't risk it until you either see him on the bench or you actually see him start. Yeah. Oh, so it is confirmed. Yeah. Yeah, best case, and like we always say it too for a lot of people, like when they're coming back from injury or whatever that situation, until you kind of see them in the lineup, it's like you can take that risk in that gamble, but we just don't really know until we see it happen. Depending on what they want, there's no telling what kind of form he's in, if he's fit. I know, like after Dortmund went on their big run and that goodbye, obviously took some time off, so it'll be definitely interesting with Marco Royce, but. Hey, the LA Galaxy home to Atlanta United. That's a pretty good matchup.
I like it a lot. Yeah, that Paintsville play and then Puig and limited, yeah, should be pretty beneficial. Atlanta, Daniel Rios will score, so
Daniel Rios will score.
Yeah, but again, Fagundes like sort of cementing himself. It's very interesting, but it's very cool to see. And again, Joveljic, where's he at? He's healthy, right? Isn't he healthy now?
So Joveljic is healthy, but they're not rushing him back. Like I think he's starting to train, but the way this team is cooking without him, there's really no point to rush him back when you guys are doing just fine. And Joveljic ain't gonna help in defense anyway. So yeah, you just gotta keep it going. There's really no reason.
You think they sell
him? No, because he's such a good piece. Like he was such a good super sub when Chicharito was here. Joveljic coming off the bench behind Chicharito was great. It was awesome.
But does Joveljic want to come off the bench? Hey, there's a DP spot open at Sporting KC, and we need a striker. Let me know. That's all. I mean,
are you that mad when you're on a really good high flying like team? Like you're the backup. Like when you get called upon, you score the goals. You're still finding goals. You have service. Like he's sitting in a pretty good spot.
All I'll say is there are other teams that are massive that have, striker spots open. I'm looking at you, Cincinnati.
SKC ain't one of those.
No, yeah, 100% no. No one wants to come to our club. But again, like a Cincinnati transfer for one of these strikers that sits behind could be really good.
Cincinnati got their striker. They got Yaukini.
No, my fault. I forgot.
Yeah, bro.
And Corey Baird.
Yaukini, bro.
Forgot about Corey Baird at right back. Yeah.
Right. What are you talking about?
But yeah, should be LA all the way. Don't see any way that. Again, Moranchuk said in the chat, the rule. Until we see them play, don't play them because don't just go in hoping unless there's the coach saying that they will start.
Yeah. Moranchuk. I mean, he's been here for a while. He was announced very early in the window. I'm assuming he's been acclimating with the team. Yeah. We could see him. Atlanta needs something, man. They just really need to get it going. So why not just throw him out there and let him, like Atlanta United's season's basically over, right? They sold all their pieces, hasn't been growing great. They can't win games, they can't get results. Just throw them out there and just let them get used to the team.
Aren't they like close to the playoffs though? Like they could genuinely make it.
Are they still in?
They probably are. Everybody makes it. Yeah, they are.
So
Exactly.
they are. Yeah, they are a little bit. Sitting on 28 points with Philadelphia right behind them. Montreal. I guess Philadelphia knocks them out.
Or Atlanta plays well. I mean, we'll see. Or Toronto.
I mean, Toronto.
I know you like them, but
Toronto falls out. Philadelphia gets in. Atlanta holds on, but then maybe DC.
I see Toronto. I see Toronto falling out before I see Atlanta falling out of the playoffs. Just based on the fact that like Atlanta at home is like a real thing. Like they tend to get results at home no matter who they're playing against. Like they beat Columbus.
Ooh, here's a good question that I don't have the answer to, Mike. Is Marunchuk likely to take set pieces off Brooks Lennon? And will they make Lennon less of a card?
I would assume
That's a good question, Mike.
Lennon stays on corners and Marunchuk takes free kicks. That's what I'm pretty sure how it was with Almada there. So
I mean, that's true. Even with Almada, Brooks Lennon was taken sets. So it would really have to take something special for them to take Brooks. And Brooks' sets are awesome. To be honest, I'm probably playing Brooks Lennon rare in one of my prios because even though
cheap, he's cheap now.
Yeah, and he's super cheap. He's one of those cards that's like super cheap now too. But LA Galaxy are piss poor on set pieces.
Yeah.
And corners. And if you have Brooks Lennon in there and like maybe Tiare, not so much like Daniel Rios, but I'm thinking like maybe he gets up, puts in a nice cross, someone gets on the end of it, maybe falls to Saba on his feet and he gets one in. I think Lennon's pretty up there for an assist this weekend, maybe a little sneaky decisive. Just because of how bad the LA Galaxy defense is, because it's pretty bad. It is.
LAFC leaks goals, and it's not like that has stopped recently.
Yeah. So that's something to really keep an eye on, Mike. Whatever we do, as if this Atlanta team continues to develop, that'll probably be the biggest thing to look for. But either way, Lennon from the run of play, putting those crosses in against teams like LA Galaxy, that's an interesting little play. Is 28 pounds a good price for Ricky Puig in season limited? It's getting there. Anything in the 20s is a pretty good price. Low 20s. You got like
for in season though. Unless they do what they did this year, where they release the cards before next year, you've got like this next 2 months and a month to start the season of utility. Can't count on it, but
yeah.
I mean, all these in-season MLS guys are so close to their classic season price. If you're playing in season, there's 0 point to even sweat of trying to, worry about the price because, collections, all that. 15 games with Puig, definitely with the playoffs.
There's 8. Well, the first round of the playoffs is 2 legs, so you for sure get about like 8. Actually, let's look at this here thing. Where is the stat? We will find out how many games they have. Or is it standings? Yeah, the form guide. The form guide will give us all the answers.
Shout out the form guide.
Shout out to Paulo in the chat, though. Keeping his MLS players only to keep watching our show. And he's going to buy more during the live, of course. We're always degenning in here, Paulo. I'm glad you're here.
I'm going to find him a deal of someone to buy right now.
Yeah, there you go. Go shopping for him.
I'll do it right now. What do you need? What do you need, Paulo? I'll get you.
Yeah. So it looks like LA Galaxy have 7 games left in the regular season, plus 2 in the first round of the playoffs. So that's 9, assuming they get 1 or 2 more after that, maybe. So about like 10 games of utility left for an in-season Puig, which will, depending on the players you have around him, could bring you a little bit of cash towards the end of this season. Just saying, season. Ooh, Jay Blaze, stop dropping that heat in the chat because I've been looking at his rare. Stop it. You stop that right now. Delete that comment.
Leuven.
Yeah.
Don't buy it now. Don't buy any St. Louis guys. They're definitely not going to have a good run.
The new pieces that St. Louis brought in changed the team drastically. Like you remember at the beginning of the season where you're like, oh man, St. Louis, like there's something sneaky in there. Like, and then it all fell off the face of the earth and they brought in these new dynamic guys from Bundes 2 and all this stuff in like Germany. And all of a sudden, they're just like cooking. Like, I think they could sneaky get hot in the end. And yeah, I was literally looking at them earlier. Dang it, Jay Blaze. Come in here 5 minutes and you're already.
Don't do
you're
it.
not in for it. You're not in for it.
Yeah, $20 is definitely not a good price for Leuven. Definitely don't buy that.
Rare?
Yeah, and their matchups are horrible. New England, Minnesota, or they're such tough matchups.
New England is a great matchup. What are you talking about?
No, that's horrible. New England, Minnesota,
Galaxy
San
is
Jose,
also a great matchup.
Sporting KC at home, Minnesota, Houston, like all those matchups are horrible. You don't buy that card. Oh, sorry. Don't buy that card. You said defender? Here you go, Paulo. Watch this. Rare limit. If you want, not gonna lie, either you're going with where is he? We literally were just talking about him.
Yeah.
Brooks Lennon. Look at that.
Ooh, a
$1
defender would be nice.
$1.
Brooks Lennon.
$13 rare. Or Tavon. Tavon for $1 is really good too with U23.
Okay, if you want a rare defender, because I already bought mine, so I don't really care. Before this show, I picked up a Mickey Yamane rare for $10. So if that tells you anything about defenders, they may be a bit terrible defensively, but Mickey Yamane do be getting up, be getting the AA, maybe sneaky assist.
Tavon Gray is the guy you need to get. Not gonna lie, like this is kind of what you need to do because he's been getting more involved in the attack in like the last few games, and like look at how his scores have gone when he gets more in the attack.
Oh, you D-gens make me so happy.
Look at that, and he got hurt here, so he missed those games. Still got an assist.
Yeah, I mean, dang, Tavon Gray's good, man.
Matchups: Chicago, DC, New York, Nashville, Montreal. U23 for another 3 years.
Sneaky.
Rare's $12. I might buy that after the show. Better be quick.
Not gonna lie, might be buying that. Hey, look at that. We have an Insigne, an option on his contract saying until the end of the season, although it says his contract. Yeah. So the options. So I guess something I learned recently was that like the rest of the world doesn't really deal with like player options and all this nonsense that we obviously get in the MLS. So like assuming when it says that, assume the later date, because when there is a player option, it's almost always, not always, but pretty likely that they're on for that whole contract. They could opt out. It's almost like they can opt out of it more than like they can opt in. Like they're basically opted in unless they choose not to. So kind of look at it that way. Like they're definitely here for that long, but they could leave. So
Daniel's got a good point too. Velasco coming back this weekend. The only thing is his price has not moved. His price has not moved since he got hurt.
Well, it was like sitting at 70 for the entire time, and now that he's finally almost back, it's like, oh, it's $40. I was like, oh. I was looking at
What's his limited price? $5?
Yeah, the option is like, it's just basically like a placeholder, just in case they do decide they want to move off. But they're technically contracted for that entire time. It's MLS roster rules, man. I still barely even understand them. I'm always Googling stuff because they are just a pain in the butt.
I want to, 1 second. I'm going to pull up the Sporting KC roster contract, and just show you how bad our situation is.
All right. Look at this. You do that.
Here, I have it right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is whose contract ends at the end of this year.
Could barely even see that.
Agata, Tommy, Davis, and Dembe, Voltaire. Oh, we did lock down. We didn't even lock down Davis for longer. Everybody, our entire starting lineup. Legit, you can go through our entire starting lineup expires at the end of this year.
Good. You should dump them all and start over.
Dude, we need Chris Rindolph. What do you mean? No, we need to keep Agata. Put him on a 17-year contract.
Yeah, keep Agata and Vargas and just vibe.
Tommy too.
Just vibe.
And Afrifa, don't forget the GOAT. Hey, if you need a cheap U23 forward with you're willing to hold for a while. Because
that is very true.
One would have, if Russell doesn't resign, look at his scores recently.
But back on the Insigne thing. Talking about Insigne. No,
Muffle.
You're good. You're good. You keep doing your thing in the back row. We'll bring it up back and forth.
I keep getting mad. I've been paying attention to our club enough. It's been too long. It's been 3 weeks of pent up frustration.
Daniel, I literally almost threw in there. I almost threw it up and I was like, yeah, in about like 3 days or so. But yeah.
Easter Sunday.
Easter Sunday works too.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Dear Lord. Houston Dynamo are awesome at home. Toronto FC are just all over the place this season. This will be an interesting game. We have Ezekiel Ponce, who has come in. They have their new 9. They have a new wingers. This team is starting to come together. Hector Herrera just gets healthier by the day. And then you have Bernadeschi, who could just make it awesome. Yeah,
he's hurt. Remember, he got hurt at the end of the Toronto during the Miami game.
That's true.
Let me see this. I'll check right now.
Yeah. Let's see. I did forget, but they've been off for weeks though. See, that's the thing that's tough. It's like he's been sitting around for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Like,
No lingering issues, should be good to go, but you know what that means.
let's go. When it's Bernadeschi, he's playing, baby.
He loves to play. He loves ball.
Houston Dynamo had a little bit of a break. They have like their new number 9. Everything's great. Do you think they have what it takes to beat this Toronto FC team? Like we saw what they did to Miami in Leagues Cup. Like they could score on anybody on any given day. They could put goals in the back of the net. But this Houston team at home, they're dang good.
I'm proudly playing my Steve Clark. I like this matchup. I like like the stream, please. But I like Houston at home whenever, and Toronto dipping in and out of form. Don't know. We'll either catch them on a day where we'll catch them on a day where they score 3, or catch them on a day where they scored none.
Yeah,
it's one of two. So I think that with Bernadeschi still a little bit don't know, even though he's probably going to play. You know, something could pop up.
but maybe
Foot
not
injuries.
90. Yeah,
Foot injury is, you play with your feet. You're doing everything with your feet. It's gonna, if you feel that pain, step one wrong step, he's gonna feel the exact same pain.
Yeah.
But yeah, Insigne, I don't think is that high of production to start. He's 60%.
Why wouldn't he start? He hasn't done anything.
He's not full percent. Groin issue.
Ooh, interesting. That's and like even on this, Cameron, to be honest, I'm more of a Bernadeschi than Insigne guy. Bernadeschi signed a longer contract. When you see Bernard, like he wants to play, he's bought in. You see him on the pitch, on the ball, off the ball, like he is working for this team, really wants to make it work. Where Insigne, since the beginning, has been like wishy-washy. It's been a roller coaster of emotions for Insigne since the beginning. So I'm more on the air of caution of the Bernadeschi, but Insigne is awesome too, man. Like he can make it happen. He gets it done. Great. Yeah, but this game's up in the air. You'd think Houston has the edge being at home, but like you said, Toronto, they can either show up or not show up. You really never know what you're going to get. And that's just kind of the thing with Toronto. I bought a lot of Toronto players thinking it would be fun, and it's just been headaches. So
yeah, I bought a stack. I bought an in season. I didn't buy the full collection, but I bought every starter.
Yeah.
Let's just say only Bernadeschi's left. Everybody else I kind of lost faith in. I sold Insigne like very close to his peak because I think something came up about him possibly leaving. I was like, yeah, let's get rid of him. And then his price just dropped. I'm like, you know what? I'll take it. Yeah. He's still scoring well, but it's just
it's just headaches though. That's all.
For me, the risk with Insigne, I'd rather have, because there's so many other forwards for around the same price that you can get that are just safer. And I feel like that's the way to play the game. You can play risk, like if like you can play risk and buy for what you're hoping for to happen, or just buy for what will happen. Like Insigne's $11. You can buy Paintsil for 11. You can buy Orejano for, I think, 10 for his midfielder, 15 for his forward. Santi is 10. Giroud is 8. Benteke is 7. Even like Velasco for 5. $5. There's I mean, if you're looking for AA, Insigne is one of the best in the league, but it's man. I'd rather have Santi than have Insigne. That would be like the closest comparison, because Santi, better attack, better home field advantage.
Strictly Toronto, definitely Bernadeschi over Insigne. But yeah, Santi, I've been staring at him a lot these past couple of days. Not gonna lie.
Look at that. That's huge. That's what we love to see.
That is huge. You know who's not huge?
Uh-oh.
Nashville SC.
Whoa, they got Austin. They got Austin. Willis clean sheet.
They do. They do have. All right, Nashville are at home. Okay. It's good. Nice little fortress they have going on, Nashville. But dude, this season has been not great, Chief. You have Sam Surridge, can't stay healthy. You have Hani Mukhtar, who is a shell of himself. Jacob Schaffelberg can do no wrong. I will say that. The rest of the team, I guess Walker Zimmerman's back. That's a good thing. Zimmerman, and I forgot the stat, but they won like 2 games when Zimmerman wasn't in. Play
the video.
No,
we already played it.
Yeah, we already played it this episode. Either way, Austin though, Austin taking down 2 Liga MX teams, topping their group in Leagues Cup. Maybe a little momentum. Austin FC is one of those teams too. They brought in new people. They brought in new pieces. Bukhari. There's a lot of talks about Bukhari, and that's another one of those guys they brought in early. So he's had a good amount of time to get himself acclimated with this Austin FC team. I have no faith in Nashville right now, even at home.
Yeah.
To say anything, I have a Willis. If I need it, he'll probably go in my anti-stack, just kind of throw away.
That's where he's at for me. That's definitely where he should be at for everybody.
It's just one of those things.
I will say, so I don't know if I assume people play FIFA. Remember back in the day when they had attribute cards and you could like boost your player for a game or two?
Yeah.
That's what Austin did in the Leagues Cup. This should be Nashville winning. But if Bukhari and all of them have actually pulled back into form, it will be interesting to see how Austin finishes the season.
I talked about it the other day. Danny Pereira, $10.
I just don't like him being a CDM.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. What?
It's like he's just Venezuelan Redoya.
Yeah, basically. But he's also $1. So
true.
I don't know. Either way, I have the edge on Austin here. It'll be like you said. It'll be interesting to see how Austin finishes the year because they showed in the beginning of the season, right? There was that flash where you're like, oh my god, is Austin like the real deal? Like, oh my god. And then it wasn't. They fell off.
Just for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
like Driussi came back and they won like 4-3. I remember that. And then we were like, oh, everybody buy Driussi best value. I think we were saying that. I remember Chris was a big
forward card was like $6. Like we were like, yeah, of course, pick one up.
Yeah, Chris was really like pushing the Driussi agenda. Now even his AA's dried up. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, this Austin team's been up and
I would say I haven't said any picks yet. Mukhtar for this game, I like. I like Mukhtar in this game. He's been showing that he is sort of like the only piece in the attack.
Always.
But they're at home. He's been getting AA recently. Austin's not the best. We hop on trends over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my first pick would be Mukhtar.
Hani Mukhtar is one of those weird because I won one this season. I'm so excited. I've always liked Hani as a player, just in general, even outside of Silver. I just really enjoy Hani's game.
Yep.
And he's one of those guys that you would think is almost chalk in a lineup. Like you can just throw him out lineup proof. Like he can always bang. Like if anybody's banging on Nashville, it's going to be Hani. Yep. But it's hard because you have that reminiscent of the old Hani that was just so fun to watch. He's just goal dangerous. And it's just, his Nashville team's just been downhill, man. It sucks. Yep. But I do agree. I still throw Hani out there anyway in hopes that he'll do something good. But it just hasn't been happening. So unfortunate, but hey, good luck, Nashville. I guess. I
do have a question for you and maybe people in the chat. Are you playing like keepers for this Leagues Cup final, or are you steering clear? Maybe some people have to, but if you have the option to, are you playing them? Because I feel like it's either going to be a goal fest or be like 1-0.
It's a final. Typically, finals are very tight. Could be very low scoring. Could just be like you saw it. I was telling you that the Philly Columbus semifinal was very like it was just a gross game. Like nobody scored really well. Like unless they got a decisive, everybody else just didn't score because it's very tight, very methodical, very tactical.
Yeah.
And dude, these are two high flying teams because you got to think in the final, Columbus is going to hold the ball. They're going to hold possession. They're going to want to dictate. And then LAFC is just going to counter the entire time. So it's like, are you going to lose possession? Are you going to win duels? Like, are you just, it's going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
Disaster. But
oh, should we get a check on the weekly special that Sorare is running and see how shitty was put together?
Yeah. Pull it up.
Anti-special. All right. We got 27,000 entries before tomorrow. How many rewards do you think we have? What's your guess? I haven't scrolled. I haven't even looked. So I'll guess with you.
There's 27,000 in here. I will say, and this is a weekend, I will say there are 1,400 rewards.
I was going to say 1,100.
All right.
Let's see.
How many rewards are there?
16. Whoa, okay. All-Star. It's All-Star. Yeah, but
you can't stack.
Exactly. I still have a team to throw in here. I got something to do after the show. I thought I built all my teams. There we go. How nice is
Wow.
that?
You're going to play Andre Blake. Well, I guess they're playing Colorado.
Whoa.
That could be good. Yeah, that's
Free-
not the worst. Yeah, there you go. I'll play the third place game. I'll play
Whoa.
Andre Blake. How about that? How about that? I'll play Andre Blake in the third place game.
There you go.
Colorado's been fun. They went on a run. Congratulations.
Hey, I will say, watch
Hey,
out for
still Super Bowl
Mihailovic. I think
dangerous.
Mihailovic might do something.
Ooh, mileage is getting cheap too, actually. All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of hype boys.
Oh.
All right. Let's talk about it. The Charlotte FC hype boys.
Yep.
Let's go. Everyone in the Discord, shout out to you. I've been seeing all the talk of the hype. Shout out to Trippin' B himself, the GOAT, the legend. There you go. Charlotte FC, baby. Sir Minty is my dog. Okay. Charlotte FC at home to the Red Bulls. Okay. Who knows what the Red Bulls are going to look like? Is Forsberg back? I don't know.
Nope.
But for the crown, baby, Charlotte made some moves. They have Swiderski. They have Abada. They have freaking Westwood, who has been scoring after I said he's a bang average player. And we have the GOAT Kalina in defense, who is already the best defense in the league. And guess what? They now have Tim Ream in that back line.
I'm funny.
High on this signing.
You know what's funny, which is a good thing that happened today. I was setting my lineups and I find a rare Tim Ream that I bought 3 months ago when Trippin said, Tim Ream's coming to us. It'll be a little bit. And I was like, okay, $4, sure. Rare Tim Ream.
Yeah.
Now I can use him.
I think Tim Ream to Charlotte, who is already great defensively, is going to bang. Because he's going to rack up AA.
Yeah, him and Malanda possibly push who to the midfield? Who's the other center back? Is it Privet? Possibly push Privet to the midfield.
Yeah, maybe.
They're going to be really good.
It's a good problem to have, man. It is a good problem to have. Your defense that was already great just got better. Red Bulls, they struggle in front of goal. Lewis Morgan on his day can do it. They went and signed a 10. I think it was. I haven't really heard much about them. They got it over the line late. There's still Forsberg roaming around. I don't know if you know anything about Forsberg and when he returns.
Let's find out.
Yes, let's find out. But I do have Charlotte at home, which on top of anything, like it's Charlotte at home, you'd think the Red Bulls kind of have this locked up, but you never really know. But I've been holding on Forsberg. I bought Forsberg and he got hurt like 2 days after, so I haven't even gotten to use the dang stupid card.
We got the classic, has made really good progress, but is still not available for him.
Great.
Maybe we'll see him in the playoffs. Maybe.
Pouring up for Privet and Stangs.
Oh, Stangs. Yeah, and then he went and hit like 90 in the first game for Feyenoord.
Not poor went out for Stangs, though, because Stangs got Trippin' B back in.
Yes.
Whether Stangs came here or not, Trippin' B's back in, baby. And that's a win in my book. So, just saying.
Yeah, he just has every single Charlotte card, and that's it. And the Stroud he won. Yep.
That's where it starts, okay? But yeah, New York Red Bulls, it'll be interesting to see where this team goes. They're still holding on to a high place because of the great start of the season they had. Outside of that, it ain't looking great. Tolkien's really freaking cheap right now, by the way. I picked one limited up for like $5. That was unheard of. Basically before Sorare now. But the rumors are starting to kick up again that Tolkien may be gone in the winter, which sucks.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah, I mean, it'll really hurt this Red Bull team. And just in general, because he is one of those players. He's fun to watch, as long as he keeps his mouth shut and stops liking things on Twitter. Other than that, though, yeah, Charlotte FC, run those stacks out, baby, because yes, it's gonna be great. Oh, sorry, Danny Brams. Is Trippin' B dead? Did I miss it?
He changed it to Trippin' Brams, I think.
Dang.
So Trippin' Brams.
Trippin' Brams. All right, there you go. Trippin' Brams. Daniel, since you're all up in the chats, FC Dallas, they're going away to DC United. DC United, another one of those teams that looks to have an amazing run in the Leagues Cup. They were looking great. They just couldn't get it over the line. They got knocked out in pens. I think it was. They didn't. Oh, no, it was the Jared Stroud stupid red card. That completely killed their chances of getting anything done. Unfortunate, but hey, maybe it was the little boost that they needed. Both of these teams are really struggling, really struggling to find themselves. FC Dallas has been all over the place, struggling with injuries. DC United, same thing. All over the place, struggling with injuries. But yes, it is Who on season. Who on
Let's
season,
go.
baby.
It's
Let's
ba-
go.
it's-
You love to see it. He runs really fast.
Are they doing? You know how they did the Mbappe cam? Are they going to do Who on cam for this game? So we don't have to change channels.
I sure hope so.
They wouldn't be able to keep up. He's too fast. They'd have to get.
I sure hope so. Ooh, there you go. There it is. That is the secret sauce. Velasco, Jesus, and Musa. If those three can get it going, watch out. Watch out.
Thoughts and prayers for the midfield.
Yeah, 1,000 players. Hey, and Paul Areola, man. By the way, after that coaching change, Paul Areola has been on fire. So it'll be interesting to see at DC. Does Benteke score? I say yes.
100%.
I say yes.
It only took him getting beat up by Basong for him to become good again.
Yeah. Does Benteke score? I assume so. I picked Benteke's like what, $7. Benteke likes to score, boy. Has that hold up play. He can assist too. And as of recently, he can score with his feet. Imagine that. Didn't know it was possible.
Yeah, it's impossible.
But he definitely can.
I will say,
Paul midfielder card. That's
Paz is like really cheap. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so and Daniel's in here too. Paz was a very interesting kind of transfer rumor this summer. Didn't get across the line. Is there worries that they do try to make a move again in the winter?
Daniel?
Well, you too, bro.
I don't know.
I would assume hop in here and talk.
I would assume that if there is interest from Europe, that Empoli, which I believe is the team that was going after him, they're not the only team.
Right.
So he is risky. The possibility is definitely true, but I guess the hope would be he locks down a contract extension.
Right.
He's got a year after this, and I think teams would want him now because he's young, 26. That's young, and he's really good, really talented. So I think any sort of like second division Europe, low Div 1 Europe team would probably bring him in to be a starter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so Daniel knows better than me of what would happen. Yeah.
There's going to be a worry. Yeah.
Yeah. But if he does go, he wouldn't go to sit behind someone. I don't think that he would want to do that.
Yep.
I think he likes it in Dallas. I would assume whenever I see him in interviews and doing whatever, he seems pretty happy.
Everything's better in Texas.
Exactly. Including no state income tax.
Hey, Florida too.
Yeah, there you go. So that's why Muriel wanted to go there.
Yeah.
He wanted to take your money and keep it.
Exactly. And that's why I won't leave either. Yeah, dude, Kalina is super cheap. Just in general, man, he's probably one of the best keepers in MLS, at least this season. And yet he is out of contract, but I've even asked Trippin. It seems like he's here for the long term. It seems like he really wants to. I'm sure Charlotte will probably make something happen. Dino Smith very clearly got rid of a lot of people that he didn't want on his squad, and he's put 100% of his faith into Kalina. Assuming they can work something out, and this up and coming Charlotte team, man, this Charlotte team is spending. They are targeting people. They almost got Almiron, I guess. So if that tells you anything about the ambition this team has, it'll be really cool to see. Why not stay and go along for that ride?
It's definitely wild that Almiron was actually like a thing.
Like real. It was real.
Yeah. And it's like Almiron is in and out of the Newcastle team.
Yeah.
So, but like Newcastle is like a top 16. Like you can boot us out of there now. We're not good enough. Newcastle's top 6 now. It's very weird that someone would go to the Prem, thrive. It's not like he's playing bad and then come back.
He's also old. I didn't realize how old he was.
Isn't he 30s?
Yeah. Like, he's getting into his 30s now, so it's like
that is true.
Yeah. Life comes at you fast, buddy.
Exactly.
Life comes at you fast.
I guess he did go over there in like 2018, 2019.
Yeah, it's been a while now.
For a while. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while since the Atlanta Glory days, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. And his record still hasn't been broken for outcoming transfer until the end of the season. We know who. We're just minted, please.
We'll see. But you want to talk about the MLS's biggest incoming transfer, number not known because they won't tell anybody. Inter Miami, the Messi boys. Who knows how much he's getting paid? even though he's still hurt and MIA. Get it? You see what I did there?
Yeah, someone said on Twitter that he tore something in his knee, but they're too afraid to say it because ticket sales will plummet.
They apparently Inter Miami is the only team that doesn't have to disclose injuries or any information about their injuries or anything. I wonder why. Why don't they have to follow the rules? Why does everybody else have to fall in line? But Messi's there, so I'll brush it off a little bit and sweep it under the rug. Either way, this Inter Miami team, the collapse never happened. We said they would collapse in the summer. We said summertime sadness was going to hit this team like the plague. Although Messi did get hurt, this team has been awesome. And they are coming up against one of the big dogs who have gone out. They have also spent money. FC Cincinnati spent huge money to bring Yaukini back from Europe to play up top since Kubo is tired and is no longer banging. The word on the street is Lucho Acosta is back and healthy.
Yep.
Should be starting this game finally. Which is good to have. FC Cincinnati just crashing out of Leagues Cup in one of the worst possible ways ever, maybe. That was really sad to see. But this is going to be a clash of the Gigantes in MLS, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Well, Miami somehow still making it happen without Messi. Kind of wild, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see, Lucho back in the MLS. Because it took him forever to come back. He didn't want to come back, I guess, which is weird because he usually always wants to play.
Right.
But yeah, Suarez, he looks so old. I said it like a few shows ago. If he is not retired by the end of the season, I will be insanely surprised.
It's not the Suarez we saw in like the first 10 games of the season, I will tell you.
Yes, that it was definitely, there's a drastic change. Did he get hurt? Or he got hurt. No, went to Copa.
No,
he went to Copa. He went to Copa and sat on the bench, and I don't know what happened. But
he was already kind of like slowing down into Copa, but it wasn't the demolishing that they put on Orlando early in the season. Like it was
yeah. So it'll be interesting. That means they got to go sign someone, unless they want to keep Campana, which I think they should. But no, in Miami,
they really should, man.
They'll bring like Di Maria in or something like that, and it'll be over for us yet again.
No, bro, they're bringing Neymar over, bro.
You see, Neymar wants to go back to, was it Barca? Yeah, he wants to go back to Barca.
Really? Yeah. Interesting. I mean, why not, right? Why not?
Everybody buy your Neymar Limiteds.
They have to disclose injuries. Have to. This league is such a joke sometimes, but it's still the greatest league on the face of the planet. Don't get it twisted. This game is probably going to be like a shootout, to be honest. There's no defense, only offense. Bunch of Acosta and Oriano and a bunch of Jordi Alba and Grussel, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. This Miami team is just scrappy and they're going to get it done. Tata Martino, as much as I hate him now, he's a good coach, man. He's a tactical genius. He got it wrong in Leagues Cup, but he's good.
He makes stuff happen. And don't forget about assist king Jordi Alba.
I'm saying, man, Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba is the GOAT of all of Jordi Alba's awesome.
That game is a beautiful sweat that ended up doing pretty well. I don't know if you guys were here for that show.
Kind of.
We did like after. I think it was right before it started, but yeah.
Yeah. Talk about bottom of the barrel. CF Montreal are hosting New England Revolution. This is another one of those games that's going to be very interesting. We have Joseph Martinez just lying to everybody, just lying to people. How dare he? Just not the stand-up character that they thought he was at the beginning of the season. Shocker. CF Montreal, they made a lot of sneaky in-league moves, did a couple of things, brought some pieces in, shipped some pieces out. They're making moves. They're chaos. We've been saying it. They just cause chaos. They make it hard for people. But this New England Revolution has been on a break. They also got rid of a lot of people. Duan Jones, gone. But Carlos Hill, in?
Hope so. That'd be so fun to watch. I'm so excited for him to come back.
70% on Predictify? Carlos Hill? Oh, baby. And I totally forgot about this. Ducky coming in. Jaquil Marshall-Ruddy.
Yep.
That's right. One of the big pieces brought in, and you guys know if you've been watching the show all season, we are huge our Marshall Ruddy season. Yeah, this move could be awesome for him.
Is he going to start off rip? You think? You think he's going to immediately come in and start?
Maybe not. But like, if you think that front line for CF Montreal has been all over the place, like all season, like
Yeah,
this
true.
entire team has been all over the place all season. Oh, our boy HA sharing on Twitter, sharing the tweet confirming that Gil will start. If you want to pull that up,
I will.
Yeah. That'll be awesome. And yeah, Ariaga has been cooking. Is he cooking? I haven't really looked. I haven't really paid no mind to him.
Yeah, here it is.
When it came to New England, I haven't been looking at the defense. I'll tell you that. Ooh, look at that. He is cooking. And Daniel, he's your boy, right? He came over from Seattle. How do you rate him overall? How do you give me the deep insight, since you've definitely watched him a lot more than everybody else?
Here's the tweet.
Yeah, Marshall Ruddy in for Huon. Yeah, it does make a lot of sense actually. And he's not as fast as Huon, but he's probably a little bit more quality in that finishing ball. That is Huon's Achilles heel.
Yep.
For sure. All right. What is this? Luca has trained all week. Team needs to be careful. He's coming from whatever. Fans should expect to see Heel, Veroni, and Barrero. Quoted on saying, "We are 100% fit. Carlos will start. Some only available off the bench." That is huge, baby.
I wish all teams had reporters that were this transparent.
Right? What the heck? This is everything we want and more. Just wrapped up, put a bow on it. These are the kinds of reports that we want in our lives. Carlos Hill. Yeah, pull up that price. He's slowly going up. I have noticed it is starting to tick up a little bit. But yeah, $15 for a Carlos Hill, man. And we've said it, like this team towards like the end, like leading into Leagues Cup, they were starting to get hot. They were, I mean, pull up the handy dandy form guide right before here. Look, they were starting to go on a little run. They had a little 5-game stretch, right? 5 wins, and then it got a little slow again. But hey, they've been off for a couple weeks now, and now Carlos Hill will be back, and Barrero. Like this is good. This is good.
We like
Not
that.
gonna lie. How many minutes do you think Gil plays? Like 60-ish? If Hill's playing, he's probably playing 90.
He
right?
might go the full 90. Yeah.
Especially because, like, even before Leagues Cup, it was kind of known that he was going to be back. So I think he was ready, but they were like, "Hey, man, fuck Leagues Cup. Like, we'll come back for the season, no?"
Yeah, they probably said that. Heel's one of those guys. Like, you can look through his past games, doesn't get rotated, and plays 90 minutes basically every game. Him, Lucho are two of those guys that are like that. Puig as well. And they're really good to have on Sorare when healthy. But
pull up. Is that Heel? Yeah, pull up. Just hit that all. Just hit the all. Oh yeah.
You see.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
It's like that's very sporadic. This is CONCACAF Champions Cup. This is CONCACAF. This is Leagues Cup. Yeah. It's
take out those DMPs. I want to see all those nice scores. Oh yeah. That's the good stuff.
And the 1 year, still got it.
Still got it on a bad team. Like, a lot of these good scores on a really bad New England team.
And guess what? They got Barrera back too now. So
that's true. I did pick up a Barrero. I did pick one up. I picked up a cheeky limited for like $1 or $2. Just U23. I mean, yeah. Then Daniel Cooper back on the Ariaga. He's pretty good, but there's a reason he couldn't get regular starts at Seattle. He will win plenty of tackles and duels, though. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Why Ariaga when you have Jackson Reagan? Just saying.
Why Ariaga when you have Tim Parker? They do have Tim Parker, but it's not.
They do have Tim Parker. They do have Tim Parker. 30 games we haven't talked about. Oh yeah, there's we have 2 games left that we haven't hit on. Look at us go. Look at us go real quick. Ooh, this will be a fun one. We were talking about Evander earlier. Portland Timbers are hosting the newly rejuvenated St. Louis City. This game might actually like go low key one of the best games of the season, to be honest. Like maybe. this could be fun. This could be a good, fun game. St. Louis, their new pieces like have been really good for them. And Portland Timbers, obviously, this attack has been crazy. You have Mora Moreno, Evander, J-Rod, even Claudio Bravo has been coming back into some incredible form.
Yep.
This game should be fun, no? Yeah.
Evander 100. Hope so. Is he good? Is he good to go? I know he's got subbed off in the Leagues Cup. Let's check. Let's find out.
Oh, and a note, Reagan and concussion protocols. There wasn't really a Seattle chat because of the Open Cup, and like the Minnesota is like, we don't really know. Well, that's another thing. If he's even concussion, even if he's questionable, he definitely wouldn't even risk it this weekend with.
Yeah.
Actually, Daniel, what do you think about the rotation this weekend with the Open Cup semifinal on Wednesday? It'd be really interesting to get your thoughts on that.
I will also say Deke has his Seattle lineup. He doesn't have all the explanations, but he has like the preliminary, and Evander's not on there.
Oh, yeah. Well, Phil Neville said doubtful earlier, so it looks like there's a tweet.
I'll find that.
Oh, Evander is up in the air. No, that's no fun.
Well, yeah, here it is. Major doubt. Says he still may play reduced minutes.
Yeah, it's not even worth the risk. But hey,
it might be worth the risk for Evander. 35 off the bench.
Yeah.
They'd be scoring late goals too.
I mean, it's doable. I'm not against it just because it's Evander. And if you have one, you probably want to be running him somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, Felipe Mora, just dude, he's been on an insane run, and it's almost like I haven't picked one up because part of like there's a part of my brain that doesn't want to believe it. They're like, nah, there's no way, dude. Like it's got to come back eventually. But the thing with Mora, and the biggest thing is that you're not getting AA, and you're just getting the decisives, which is fine, especially with forwards in the MLS. Like this alone is just really hard to get out of a forward in MLS. But if you're really aiming for those top, especially like Division 1, like these just aren't going to cut it. Unfortunately. But more is awesome, especially like budget as you're building out a gallery, like a starter piece to like a build in the gallery. He's a really good shout and incredibly cheap.
Incredibly cheap.
What is it? Starts only at home? Is what you said? Oh, dang. That does look pretty. When he starts at home. All right. You got me, Cameron. All right. These look pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Dang. That's nice. Love that. Love.
You know who we could be possibly looking at as a little cheap option?
De La Vega back. Smetzer said he could start this weekend. Do we really want to risk it at this point? Because he steps on the field and he gets hurt.
Oh, this is what I'm thinking. I haven't pulled up.
And Portland's big rivalry derby is right after the Open Cup. Dear Lord, that sucks. Yeah, rest in peace, my Seattle players. I'm not gonna want to play them anywhere.
But this is who I got right here, who I think's the good cheap option people should be looking at.
Ooh.
You ready for these matchups?
Yes. Ooh, Red Bulls at home, Atlanta United at home, Montreal away, away to Orlando, rest in peace. New England at home. Ooh. Away to Miami, it sucks. Home to Chicago. Dear Lord, home to Montreal. Charlotte. Away to
That's all I'm gonna say.
Towards the end of the season. Is that why everybody's buying stacks? We're all looking at this upcoming schedule and going, oh man.
That's really, really good. And he's cheap for rare and limited.
Daniel thinks that Seattle should rotate for Open Cup because LAFC always slaps them around. Is it true that I saw a stat that like Seattle hasn't beat LAFC in like 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, no, they never. It's always,
and they get smashed on top of that. Like they have. That does kind of suck. Like Open Cup semifinal, you're like, oh, we have a chance for a trophy, and like you're just the one hump that you can't ever get across.
The only thing you could be happy about is the fact that LAFC are going to play full strength this weekend. So
that's true. They're about to play a final, man. Yeah. Like if they win on Sunday, like do they even care about Open Cup at that point?
Are we doing a SITS road trip to Starfire Sports Complex? Us and 2,500 other people watching like the two biggest teams in the West
Not gonna
Coast
lie,
that aren't LAFC.
it'd be a pretty fun night. Not gonna lie, it'd be pretty fun.
That'd be awesome.
Daniel, are you going to that? That'll be a good time.
You should.
If you are.
That'd be actually really cool.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. But yeah, this will be an interesting match just to see both of these teams where they're at, especially St. Louis. They're definitely catching my eyes because I know you're like no Lewin, but since the new pieces have come in, like hey, he has quality around him that can do stuff. Bang bang bang. And I know, yeah, there's a couple decisives in there, but 24 AA, 2 games in a row, like, like if he was putting up decent scores with a bad team, what is he gonna do when he has these awesome dynamic players coming in? Could be awesome. Just saying.
Nah, he's not good. You don't want 84s, you want 86s.
If he could just get one more tackle or one more duel, I'm telling you, man.
Then then I'd like him. But no, as St. Louis guy, I will recommend anymore. Even though
easy Open Cup win for LAFC and they get to play Indy 11 in the final
in Indy. Yeah, if LAFC wins, it's in Indy. I'm pretty sure it's one of the two. Indy is if
there's
Indy
no
wins,
way Indy has hosting rights.
There's a way. Yes, I'm pulling this up because yeah.
U.S. Soccer is giving hosting rights to a USL team.
Well, it's U.S. Soccer, not MLS.
Cameron, is it only me that confused what games I have covered or have been rescheduled? Having a Columbus stack, also don't know what specials I can actually play. Columbus, you can play anywhere that's not Challenger and LAFC. So just anti-stack
and U23 anti-stack.
Yeah. Basically, like rule of thumb, if they're not playing a league game, like a league sanctioned game, like if it's not an MLS regular season game, for example, then you can't play them in Challenger because it's leagues only. So whether you're in the Eredivisie or whatever, like if it's not a league game, it's not in the regions and it's whatever Sorare decides we're allowed to play that week. Which sucks. That sucks.
Yep. Columbus and Premium season.
We're just playing Premium season. Why not?
Yep. Throw them in Bundesliga.
Yeah.
I will say, here's the hosting priority. It's so Seattle win and Indy win, it's in Indy. That's insane.
Oh, wow.
If we win and this game blows up, then we get to host. Let's go.
Okay. I'm sorry, Alex, but I want Indy 11 to win that game so bad.
I know. It'd be so fun. But you know what? I want a trophy.
This is the biggest problem, Cameron. This is the issue right here. Yes, this exactly. It's awful. It is awful. And I'm sorry for your pain. And we're all feeling it. Because like if anybody's serious about the MLS, like most of us degens in the chat are, we have a lot of MLS players, and Columbus and LAFC are so good that you probably have a decent amount of the that's an interesting question. Which is it
the playoff one? Yeah, they're playable.
Yes.
Last year
they were playable in Challenger during the MLS. There was no
Challenger.
Not
last year. Sorry, but they're still MLS. It's still MLS. So
that is a good question that we need to bring up with some people over there at headquarters. Anybody that has that poll, because I definitely don't. Someone go ask them for me.
We'll just wait for it. It'll be the week of, and it'll be like, oh, can't play him. Throw him into cap 350 special.
We're not even like a few days removed from Leagues Cup, and like that whole headache. I don't even want to begin to think about this. So I'm just gonna pretend you didn't ask that question. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see it. I'm gonna wipe it from my brain. I'm gonna worry about that again in like 4 or 5 weeks because I just can't.
Where are you gonna play your Orlando Stacks at the MLS Cup final?
I'm saying, dude. In cap 200. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yep. That's cap 150. Just play 5 Danjumas.
Yeah, Mike, anti-stagging is great for collections use card, but how many of those clubs actually exist? And then have the actual full collection of.
I saw a Freiburg one today.
There's a River Plate one too, I think someone posted. Yep. Yeah, but like then we're gonna have to go, well, what if this and what if that? And then we're just relying on a bunch of what ifs. Ugh. Gross. That shouldn't be the solution.
Is Heel 0 cap? Is that true?
Should be.
I don't think he missed 15 games.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, he is not 0, sadly.
Yeah, Cameron. Well, we'll get there. Like I said, I'm not gonna give him crap this year because of the Euros and the transition. They have a lot going on, but next year I'm gonna have some words if they don't throw us a bone. Because last year they did fine. There was a bunch of like MLS like little events and stuff. They tried some things, some merch, some shirts, whatever. That's fine. That's cool. I'm not asking for $20 million prize pool for MLS, but just throw us a bone. Throw us a bone. Yeah. See, Mike Besson has the River one. So there is, but not. Yes. Next year, boy. Next year. I'll give him this one. I'm lips tight for this one, but next year. Knocks up 2 years in a row. Not happening. Wow, we still have one more game to get through. Let's get through this last game real quick, and then we'll shenanigan for a little bit, and then we'll get the heck out of here.
Yep.
Last game, I didn't even realize Real Salt Lake hosting San Jose Earthquakes, who decided they wanted to score some goals. Abobasi was like, you know what? I love the Leagues Cup. Abobasi loves Leagues Cup. He had a nice little run. San Jose showed a little bit of life. I don't know what's going on with the whole Daniel Yarborough thing. Daniel came back for a game and immediately just hasn't been back since. I would be buying low on Daniel. Not financial advice, but assuming he does start eventually. Maybe. No way I'm playing Yarborough. San Jose is interesting. They're an interesting team, but Real Salt Lake, Chicho Arango is back, even though Diego Luna will be out. They brought in some interesting pieces. Conclave. Some, I don't know. They brought in Concavs. Yes. They brought him in, and he's supposed to be a really dynamic playmaking 10, which should change the shape of this team a little bit. Rest in peace, the GOAT, Andres Gomez himself, who has been shipped out. But hey, they do have a Benjamin Shell floating around the bench.
Matty Crook season,
I guess. Hasn't been a great season for him. But this Real Salt Lake team needs to figure something out. Defensively, they're terrible. Attacking, they can get it done on the right day, but they're just not complete yet. But it could be interesting.
Yeah, the rest in peace, San Jose Earthquakes.
Yeah, rest in peace, San Jose Earthquakes. Real Salt Lake kind of crashed out of Leagues Cup. They have a lot to prove, man. They were hype. They were the league leaders. They were just running away with things at the beginning, and it all slowed down. They have a lot to prove. Daniel Cooper, I'm going to tell you something about this Beavers start. I want nothing to do with the McMath Beavers things. I think, and from what I've heard, I've listened to a couple interviews from Master Rennie. He said that Beavers is definitely the future. And with the way McMath has been playing this season, you're starting to see those rotations kind of like become a little bit more frequent to where it's almost becoming the Beavers' job. And I want no part of the indecision within that for the rest of this season. So if you have them, that's kind of unfortunate, but I think it's going to be nonsense till the end of the season with the rotations. What do you think on this whole situation?
Yeah, it's been weird because it's like the only case in the MLS where you have keeper rotation this frequent.
Right.
And they've said Beavers is the future for a long time. This basically cements that we're going to see McMath probably retire at the end of this year. It is weird that Beavers' contract ends at the end of this year, so one would assume that they lock him down for a long-term contract because I haven't seen any interest. But yeah, the RSL goalkeeper situation was weird up until wasn't weird up until this year, and now as the more time goes on, the weirder it gets. Realistically, just pick up a Beavers and assume he starts next year, and that's what you're doing. Don't buy McMath for 10 games because he's not going to get those 10 games. He's going to get like 7 of those, and you don't know which 7 they're going to. Yeah. Oh, the only ones you'll know it'll be the one after Beavers starts.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where, like, if you can avoid it in general, just kind of try to, because yeah, it's just a sucky situation.
Yeah,
sucky at all. And yes, Pellegrino is in the MLS. If you could even call San Jose the MLS, because they're just there's something.
Yep.
Hasn't been great though. Not gonna lie, Chief. Hasn't really done much. I don't know why they thought that this old man was going to be the answer to their problems when their problems have been way deeper than this. But he can do stuff, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Just watch dust maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's rough scenes, but hopefully Real Salt Lake, like I said, they have a lot to prove. They're at home. San Jose, while they have a little bit of momentum, it'll be interesting to see if they can keep that going, because realistically, I don't think they have much to play for. They are down here, my guy. 14 points. They are 9 points away from St. Louis, who's right above them. So what we see from San Jose towards the end of the season, I don't know. Do they just rotate? Do they play their kids? Do they test out some academy kids? Yeah, they got a new. They have an interim coach, right? I don't even think they signed anybody.
Yeah,
So I
they
think
haven't
they're
got
still an
anybody
interim.
new yet. No.
Yeah, buddy. You could have fun. San Jose may steal one for shits and giggles, but it ain't running back. Yeah, it ain't running around Arsenal for 90 minutes. Tell you that.
Exactly.
It is not that. But yeah, dude, MLS is back. Are we excited or what? Are we
Yes.
hyped?
We got to be
Chilling?
hyped. So many lineups. So many lineups.
So many lineups, so little places to play them. But hey, we move, we vibe. We have the Leagues Cup final on Sunday. We have Open Cup semifinals next Wednesday. We have a makeup game next Tuesday. And
Will that count? That won't count though, would it?
Yeah, it should. It hasn't
It
been
should. I know
played.
the last one didn't.
So from my understanding, if a game has kicked off and gets postponed in the middle of it, it won't get counted on Sorare. But if the game never kicked off and they just moved it, as long as it's within their whatever game weeks, it should be covered.
And if I remember right, that's when we can start throwing our LAFC stacks, right?
No, LAFC is in the Open Cup.
No, the makeup game.
Yes.
I
don't know. Dude, there's just
so
many things.
I remember because Romero started. They rotated Luis.
Yeah. There you go. What better way to send everybody off on this beautiful night as they go to build their lineups that someone in here is podium and challenger this game week? Yes.
That'd be awesome.
You love to see it. You love to see it. See, there you go. Mike Basson, always keeping us on our toes, always keeping us real, always keeping us in check before our heads float off into the clouds. But hey, good luck this weekend, y'all. It's going to be a great time. Who knows? Well, it'll be fun to see which teams kind of come out of the depths and the darkness and who finds their way. Think about it. Nashville got hot in Leagues Cup, went to the final, and then just haven't showed up since. To be honest, they're still not here. I don't know where the heck Nashville is. It's a year later, and it's
are they in the league still? Are they USA?
I don't know. Minnesota was hot in Leagues Cup, and it hasn't been great since. So it'll be interesting to see what we get from these teams going into the final stretch of the season. But hey, we're excited for it. We're here for the action because that's what we love. Alex, do you have anything else for these lovely people? Chat, if there's anything else you want to get off your chest, now is the time to do it before we get the heck out
I was just about to say, if you guys have any lineup questions, advice that you guys need, let us know right now. We got all the tools pulled up that we can help you out with.
Yeah. And I think Deke is streaming tonight too, late night. So as you're actually getting into the nitty-gritty of building your lineup, setting those things up, he will be there to help you up. And exactly what better way to end it? Oh, can you look at what are we looking at? What are you looking at?
I'll pull it.
We're looking at his gallery.
Yeah,
I was gonna end it on Fuck's Leagues Cup, but I guess Cameron was a.
Oh wait, we can.
What was it? Still in the chat. Cameron, I have no idea.
Cameron M74. Okay.
Yeah. We'll look at that and we'll get the heck out of here. Why not?
Is it this right here? Okay.
At the end, there's no rules at the end of the stream. We just vibe. All
right, here we go. All right. So let's do Challenger. We'll do Classic Challenger first. Okay. I like that. I like the Mignolet. I like there's some good keepers in there. Ooh, shout out Jordi Alba, man.
Definitely good.
Reagan, concussion protocol. Watch out for that.
Absolutely, Mike. I did not buy. Did his price go up or something crazy that I missed?
Who was it? I'm not looking.
Scandell.
Oh.
Which, hey, there's still time. If you guys watched the Road to Glory episode from 2 nights ago,
don't look at that.
Somebody might be winning an Escandel if we top 20 or podium in the French special this weekend.
Well,
right?
Let me see his rare price because I was looking at it today because I was considering it. Yeah, his
Do
floor
I still
is
have time to buy an Escandel?
Limited, not rare.
Oh, Cameron's also prioritizing in season, by the way.
In season Challenger, perfect. All right, here we go. Div 2. Yeah. What we got? All right, so we gotta go classic keeper. Let's go Mignolet. I
feel like I'm getting peer pressured into buying this Escandel right now.
Mignolet is your best. You have Reagan, but he's questionable, so go Yamane. Actually,
well, you can play
Kuiper. I feel like you have to stack the Kuiper with Mignolet.
Oh, true. Facts.
So to Kuiper. Then we go Van. Why am I just? Am I about to build a full? Okay. Facundo has to be.
Most likely, yeah.
Mora. Nuno da Costa. What a man. Wow. That's awesome. Nuno da Costa, I always big him up on the show. And then Mora has to be your in season, and you finish it off with it's one of these two then. It's Yamane or Zimmerman.
He has a Gil. He has the Carlos Gil.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Perfect. Captain that. So that's the in season.
And be careful with that too, because he's way down there on your lineup builder. So not that you should forget that you have a Carlos Hill, but make sure you get that in there. Because dang, am I gonna FOMO to Carlos Hill this weekend? Is that gonna be my DGen purchase?
Probably. And then Challenger Classic after that. Steve Clark with Yamane, Vanaken, and then you go De Jong because their matchup is insane. And then you got to go Rusnak, and I'd captain De Jong because his decisive chance is probably super high. There you go. 2 teams. We're Harry Trades now. We build teams over here.
Yeah, shout out to Harry Trades. I was watching his lineup builder stream earlier, and I was like, this is actually really fun.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. Yeah, I like this lineup down here. This classic season, Div 3 too. Not as harsh of competition.
Yeah,
that's solid for sure.
All right. Before we get out of here, real quick, we have Carlos Hill at $14.
Oh no,
Gold is Gold back?
Yeah,
Gold's back. Hearts held at $11.
No, Vancouver doesn't play this weekend.
Oh yeah, because they have a Canadian Championship on midweek.
Huge game.
Marcel Hartel at $11 is really tempting to me. He's been awesome for St. Louis. He's probably like the main piece that I'm looking at. Wow. Lucho at $16 is kind of a steal right now. I thought I was getting a deal at like 23, 22. That's crazy.
Okay, you know who you have to look up though?
Hector Herrera at $6 is a freaking buy. Georgi Mihailovic down to $6. That's a huge buy.
You gotta look up Kai Wagner. Remember what you said. Remember what you said. You said it on the show.
I said I will buy a Kai Wagner when he gets to the low 20s, and I won't even think twice about it. That's what I said.
Yep.
Is he that cheap now? Should that be a little concerning? $20. $22. I need this one for the collections. Who has one? No trader has one. If anybody wanted to make me a deal on a 2021 Kai, let me know.
There you go.
I might buy Kai Wagner tonight. And that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. So rare in the States. Looking at the weekend, vibing some MLS because it is back. And we are so excited to have it. Let's go! Yeah, baby. Exactly. Fuck Leagues Cup. Good luck on your lineups this weekend. Have fun not stacking the Leagues Cup final and the 3rd place game. That's what else are we going to do? We'll see y'all this weekend for the recap, all that fun stuff. Next week, Road to Glory, another recap. And hey, keep being awesome.